Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me here, back again with another video. And recently I started a new job, left my old one, joined a new one. It's not like it's normal times right now. Back in 2019, you'd be like, okay, cool, yeah, you started a new job. But of course, we're still in lockdown. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I'm in the UK. We still do have lockdown and we don't know whether there's gonna be future ones. So let's see how long this video remains relevant for. But before it's not relevant, let me make sure I just get it out and see if I can help as many people as I can that are going through the similar situation as me. I'm gonna be referring to office jobs. So sorry if you are starting a new job as a doctor or a nurse or someone that's not in an office space. I'm sorry, but I haven't got the answers for you. I mean, you might find some value from what I'm gonna say, but this is mainly for my office workers here. Now, before I go ahead, just wanna say, well done to you for actually securing a job, especially during these times. And if you are watching and you're still trying to find a job, keep going. I'm sure you'll be able to do it eventually. Just keep going at it. And yeah, let's get into the list. Please make sure to hit that like button below and of course subscribe for more videos like this. So these are what you should know before you start your new job in lockdown. So the first thing, which I think is pretty important, is making sure you know what equipment that you can get and be provided, i.e. what can be expensed for you. So when you start your new job, most likely your employer is going to be giving you a new laptop, and you know, you might be lucky and they might give you some other things. Like one of my friends got a voucher for patch plants. I really wish I got one of those. If you didn't know, I'm trying to turn my bedroom into a jungle. I've only got one plant right now, but you got to start somewhere. And they may send you some other things, but most likely they might just send you a laptop. Of course, you might be able to do the work off the laptop, but it's important for you that whilst you're working in whatever space you are working in, that you can be as comfortable as you can to get the job done. This might mean that hooking up at your laptop for however many hours a day is not going to be the most healthy option for you. Long term and even short term, you might start getting cramps, etc. It's not something that you want to endure for a long amount of time. So of course there's additional equipment that can help making your working at home life a lot more durable. Things like having an external keyboard and mouse, an external monitor. If you don't want to have an external monitor, then maybe get a stand for your laptop so that the screen is at eye level. Those are all good things. Now, of course they can be very expensive as well though. So it would be a good idea for you to go and ask HR or whoever is responsible for dealing with these sorts of requests and see if they can provide the equipment for you. At the end of the day, it's things that are going to help you do your job and consequently do a better job. Now, most companies want to make sure that their employees are being able to do the work that they need to do and aren't struggling with backache or anything like that. So if they're a good company, they'll be able to provide equipment for you, which will help you do your job, basically. So go and speak to the HR, see if they can expense a monitor or something like that for you. And there you go. You've got a sweet ass monitor or something else that's going to help you do your job a lot better. Now, the second thing that I would say is making sure that you utilize your free time. Whether you're coming from an old job or you didn't have a job prior to this one that you've just got, there's still going to be periods of free time which you wouldn't normally get in normal circumstances. So I broke this down into two silos. First thing is actually the commute to work. That's not here anymore, right? Most people's commute could end up being from half an hour to an hour and a half in some cases. Now let's say that your commute would ordinarily be an hour long. Going there and coming back, that ends up being 2 hours. That means that in lockdown, you should have 2 hours extra of your day free. Before being in a lockdown environment, I would suggest making sure that you have an audiobook or now, this would be a really good time to have a sponsor on the channel. Having an audiobook or having a Netflix series to watch whilst you're going there and coming back. But now you have the extra time to be able to do other things. So this could be meditating in the morning, getting some exercise in, learning a new skill, playing guitar, playing a little bit of piano, or a side hustle. Now for me personally, I haven't been very good at doing this recently, and the reason I have for that is I think it's because I'm still in my Jamaica time mode. I just recently came back from Jamaica, so I've been using the free time I've got to catch up on sleep. But moving forward, I hope to be able to actually use that free time to do other things, like I said before, potentially developing a skill, meditating, doing a little bit of exercise, getting rid of that unwanted lockdown fat would be a good idea. And the second part of utilizing this time, when you're starting a new job, most likely you're going to be just attending induction meetings and learning about the company. And there may be a lot of free periods of time where you're not actually doing much work or work that you need to do. Now, rather than just sitting back and watching Netflix waiting for a notification to come in from your manager or client, you could use this time to develop one of the skills that I mentioned before. Now, this can also work both ways, because when you're normally in an office environment, you do tend to have those distractions that help alleviate some of the pressure from staring at a screen constantly and basically just giving you a break from the screen. It's not uncommon for you to be working, making sure you're doing a good job and staying at your screen and forgetting to take breaks. Please remember to take breaks. It can actually increase your work performance and just provide a better working experience from home. It really is just about finding the balance between getting your work done and making sure that you're not working like a monkey at a computer. You're a human being, you know. You're not an android. Well, I think. Now, number 3 is a quick one, but also an important one, because it determines whether you're gonna get your dollars. If you're coming from a previous job, make sure you got your P45 and you can hand that into your employer. Without it, you may come to the end of the month at your new job, look at your taxes and see, whoa, what's happened here? Why is half of my money gone? You should have HR to help guide you through this process, but just make sure you get your P45 and make sure that you're getting taxed correctly. Now, the next thing is online formalities as a whole. This is a broad topic, I guess, but it just comes down to everything with working in an online environment. If you're on video call, make sure that you mute yourself when appropriate, and try and make sure you're not that person that ends up talking whilst he's on mute as well when you want to get your point across. Be aware of the software that you're using. A big thing that I would also recommend is to make sure that you know when your software updates are coming through, and try and update your laptop at the end of the day when it's prompting you for an update. I know with Apple systems, they only give you a limited amount of times where you can actually defer the update, and you don't want a required update to come in whilst you're working on a big project that has a deadline soon for a client. Make sure you just update your laptop, keep it up to date to make sure that it doesn't come and interrupt you at the worst times possible. If you're first starting out in this new equipment and new software that you're not used to using, of course, it can sometimes be challenging, and I'm sure if you've got a good company, they'll help guide you and ease you into the systems that they use. But of course, you as a new employee should also try and take some initiative, which can only impress them and do yourself a favor. So, now the last one, which I think can be overlooked the most, is recognizing that there is an end to this madness. At some point, we will be going back into offices. We will be meeting these people that you've been talking to online this whole time in person. It kind of reminds me of those situations where people have made friends on Xbox Live or something, and then 8 years later, they end up meeting each other in person. It's pretty cute. So being aware that this is going to come to an end, try and make friendships with the people that you're working with. Find out what's going on. If you were in an office environment before COVID and you had to transition to working online, the likelihood is you knew most of the people before, and so it was pretty easy just talking to them over the internet. But reversing that can sometimes be a little bit weird. You've never met these people in real life, and then suddenly you do. They may be shorter than you expected. They may be way taller than you expected. It shouldn't matter that much, but just be aware and try and build those relationships and find out what other things that your company is offering, whether it be quizzes if you're into that thing, whether they're giving away vouchers or presents for who can take the funniest lockdown picture or whatever. It's just some of those things that are nice to get involved in every once in a while, especially when you're joining a new environment, so it can't hurt. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any tips for people starting a new job in lockdown that I've missed off, leave them below. I'm sure they'll be helpful for anyone that is going through this same situation. Give me a big thumbs up again if you did enjoy the video, and subscribe for more content. More content coming to you soon. And I think that's all I have time for today. Take care, guys.